I see time and time again the mistakes that people make, the things that they do that are harmful to their dogs, even if it's a complete accident, even if their heart is in the right place, even if they're trying to do the right thing. There are certain things that people do that are harmful to their dogs that we want to look at today to ensure that you don't make those same mistakes at home. Come on, Eileen, you can do it. Now, the first harmful thing that people do with their dogs is only ever punishing them. Yes, there are certain situations where you need to communicate to your dog where they're doing something wrong. I believe that corrections can be required if your dog is causing harm to somebody else or another animal, causing harm to themselves, or going to cause significant property damage. If they're displaying behaviours that fall into that category, you may need to communicate to your dog from a place of loving leadership, because you have a duty of care to keep them and others safe, that they're making a mistake. But if the only way you're training your dog is punishing them when they do something wrong, you are going to create a fearful, anxious dog. Maybe they might not do those bad behaviours that you've been punishing them for, but it creates confusion, frustration, anxiety and panic, because they know some of the things you don't want them to do, but they don't know what it is that you do want them to do. So they sit in this state of waiting for that next punishment to happen, and it breaks down your relationship. It breaks down your communication pathways, and it doesn't create happy, content, fulfilled dogs like Queen Eileen. Come on, Eileen. Yeah, let's not ask you to jump over that one. Come on, girl. We'll skip that one. Let's go up here. Now, the next harmful thing that people do to their dogs, and yeah, you're so clever, and they do this from the best place, they do it with the best intention, but a harmful thing that you can do to your dog is only ever rewarding them. Yes, we want to teach our dogs what it is that we do want from them. Yes, we want to apply praise when they're making good decisions. But just like when you're only ever punishing your dog, if you're only ever rewarding your dog, you can create confusion. There will be some behaviours that they understand that you do want from them, but they won't understand what it is that you don't want from them. And if you're then finding yourself in situations where you're anxious, frustrated or scared because they're displaying behaviours that are unacceptable, and you're not equipped in how to efficiently communicate that to them, you will create a dog that is in a state of anxiety and fear. So yes, we need to make sure we're praising and rewarding our dogs, but we need to make sure that that's not the only thing we're ever doing with them. On top of all of those things, you don't want to fall into the mistake of having a relationship with your dog that's bribery based, that they'll only do something if there's something in it for them. You want to have a much deeper relationship than that. You want to have a bond that's much deeper than that, and that is where the true joy of canine ownership comes from. So if it's harmful to your dog to only ever punish them, and if it's harmful to your dog to only ever reward them, what is it that you want to be doing? Well, that's where balance is important. You need to ensure that you're communicating efficiently to your dog what it is that you do want, and that is where reward and positive reinforcement is incredible. But it's equally as important to communicate to your dog what it is that you don't want from them, because that allows them to understand what is and what isn't acceptable. They are both equally important, but is there a ratio that you should be following? My personal opinion on the subject is that if you are correcting your dog once, you should have praised and rewarded your dog 9 times. I have a 9-to-1 ratio. So positive reinforcement and reward is the vast majority of the picture. And then we have a small case of corrections if they're required. And if you find that you're in a situation where you're having to use more corrections and less reinforcement, the problem isn't the dog, the problem's you, because you're clearly either having unrealistic expectations of your dog, or you're setting your dog up to fail and not putting them in situations for them to succeed. You want to go out of your way to put your dog in situations where they're doing the right thing, so that you can come in and let them know that they're doing the right thing, that they're doing a great job, that we can lean more on positive rewards and positive reinforcements. And then if you find yourself in situations where they're making mistakes, you are able to swiftly and efficiently communicate that to them. What that does is it creates a relationship with your dog that is built on the foundations of leadership, where your dog sees you as their loving leader, not the person that just bribes them every now and again, the person that is in control of their lives, the person that they want to follow, the person that they want to please. And when your dog is doing that, what happens is your communication pathways become wide open. So then it becomes really easy to tell your dog what you do want and tell your dog what you don't want. But if you don't have that relationship, those communication pathways close. So even if you are doing rewards and even if you are using corrections, there's friction, and that pathway is hard to get through between you and your dog. So take a step back, become a better leader, achieve balance, set your dog up for success, but be willing to communicate when they failed, and you will have a dog that is a joy to be around, where you have that deep connection and bond that people only dream of.